Hi, my name is Rich Hanlon. I'm your Wild Neighbors Nature Connection Nature Guide, and today I am hanging out along the banks of the Susquehanna River in Athens, Pennsylvania. The storm that came through last night into today caused major fallout. A lot of different kinds of ducks are making their migration. They are making their migration trip. They're just not able to fly in this storm. And there's a sheltered patch of water off the side of the Susquehanna River here. It's relatively sheltered from the current and from the wind, and there's all kinds of waterfowl. So take a look at this picture slideshow of the birds that I was able to locate here today. It was a flock of 19 white Tundra Swans that initially caught my attention, and if you look around and behind them, you can see there's a host of other ducks. Nearby the Tundra Swans are a couple of kinds of ducks that dabble near the surface for their food, including American Widgeons, mallards, and Canada geese. The Widgeons are the two that are in flight in this picture. As I turned my attention to the place where the water gets deeper, I noticed a number of different species of diving ducks. These are ducks that dive beneath the surface of the water in search of their food, which typically includes aquatic insects as well as fish. And you've seen birds use their wings when they fly through the air. In a similar fashion, these birds can use their wings to swim beneath the surface of the water. And this first species of diving duck that you see before you is the common merganser, a regular to the area, not a surprise to see today. The next diving duck here we see is the bufflehead. Buffleheads are not quite as common as common mergansers, but during migration, we can expect to see them in decent numbers. They're here by the bucket loads today, though. Now, this next species of diving duck that I was excited to see in the company of buffleheads is the common goldeneye. They're both male and female goldeneyes in this picture, and you can tell them apart because the male has a little white spot on the front of the face, and the female doesn't. The next diver that I was excited to see today is technically not a duck. The Horned Grieb was present today in magnificent numbers. There I counted 68 of these particular birds, all in pretty much the same spot. They were hunkered down and resting mostly, but this one was out and about, occasionally diving under the water to search for something to eat and sometimes coming back up with something. On the periphery of the massive flock of Horned Griebs was a small flock of greater scaup. Now, greater scaup are divers, and yes, they are ducks. They certainly look like ducks, don't they? Look at that dark head, very bold white stripe on the side of the body. Beautiful birds. Not too far off from the small flock of scaup was a pair of ruddy ducks. And you can tell the ruddies by their big white cheek patch. And if you were able to see them closely enough, they have a blue bill. Where the water was the deepest, I noticed a flock of long-tailed ducks. I was super excited to see these today because they're typically found in either large lakes or even off the coast in some very turbid waters. After I got home and was reviewing my pictures, I had to include this one. Look at all these different species of ducks in the same picture. We have a greater scaup stretching his wings. We have a common goldeneye in the front. Looks like it just picked something out of the water that it's eating. And in the back, you have a Horned Grieb, and you can see those golden tufts that are part of its breeding plumage. A lot going on in this quick shot. The winter storm of the past 24 hours brought with it a lot of wind and a lot of snow that reduced visibility for human and bird alike. I would venture to say that whether you're a human or a duck, it's safe to say your travel plans for the past 24 hours were put on hold. I'm glad to have received a visit from our feathered neighbors today, but I think that we are all looking forward to fair weather days to come. Thanks for joining me. I hope you find time to get out and enjoy wild nature for yourself at some point this week. There's no telling exactly what you might find.